मला फोरिष्टाच्या शापामधल्या बाई गथुयाच काचच्या माग उभं राहून शनी फुलं कायची हे.
Hello everyone, I am Rohit Vats from News 18, and Pooja, you are returning to acting after a long time. So how is it feeling? I'm
Well,
sure others have also asked you the same question, but still.
well, I mean, no, they haven't really asked me quite like that. But I think that it's a combination of tremendous excitement and a lot of anxiety, because you always wonder if people are going to be as generous as they were with you in your first film. I think people are very generous with newcomers, so I got a lot of that with my first movie, Daddy, and I think that I'm hoping that people are equally generous this time around. But yes, it's been 21 years. That's probably more than our youngest Begum here, Shai's age. So it's been a long while, though I've not been removed from the process of filmmaking. I've been actively producing and directing and, being part of all of that. But yes, to be back in front of the camera requires a different temperament, a different kind of mindset, a different kind of, what do you call it? It requires you to be in a different space. But I'm privileged to have been able to have played Rani, to have been part of Bombay Begums. And I think that if you call this a comeback, then I don't think that I could have asked for a better one.
But again, that brings me to my second question. That it's quite an intense role because I have already seen the series, and I really liked it. The whole setup and the way you have the way the conflict has been set up there. But it's very intense, and so did you have any kind of doubts whether you should pick this role or like is this the right role to get back to acting?
Well, I mean, I think that it was a no-brainer. I think that when you get approached to play a part like this, in a show like this, with actors as wonderful as the ones who are sitting next to me, a director of the sort that Alankrita is, a platform like Netflix, I think it was pretty much a no-brainer, because it was a project that would have been really foolish to turn down. Though, I mean, the first time I was actually approached to do it, I had to say thank you for thinking of me, but no thank you, because I was in the midst of finishing Sadak 2, where I was working with my father as an associate director, and I had to literally protect him from the nitty-gritty and the banality of what a film set is really like. But they came back to me and I said, hey, this is life banging on my door, and I'd be quite foolish to not respond to its call. And I think that for me, it's always been my gut and my heart that has, decided my course in life. And instinctively, I just felt that this is something I should do, because I knew that I would be richer from the experience. And that's actually happened, because I think I got to be able to play a character that's very not me, but still required the baggage of a lived life that I have had the privilege of living. And also to be able to kind of work with people who are as talented and as kind of, focused. It kind of allowed me to understand more about myself, to reach into parts of myself that I had not accessed for a long time, to know that I was able to take instruction with as much kind of, perhaps more patience than I did when I was 17. And it's just a win-win for me in more ways than one. So the fact that you guys have watched it and you love it is truly the icing on the cake. But I think we all agree that inherently, if we're not proud of our own work, it doesn't matter what the world says, because we know when we are good and we know when we are bad. So I think that all of us unanimously feel proud of being part of Bombay Begums, and we're very proud that this is something that we've had the opportunity to be able to be part of.
Yeah, that brings me to both Shana and Amruta. That is, your roles are also like, though you have been working in OTT space for longer, but this is something very different from what you have done uh, anytime recently. So, what was your thought process like? How did you approach the role?
I mean, I think, one of the advantages of a show like this is it's so well written in both the actual screenplay and the way the character progresses, but also in just how the character is written. So there was very little for me to imagine and add, because it was already there. There was already so much there in terms of material, in terms of what Fatima is going through, where she's coming from, what is happening to you. See things happening to her. You see the influences in her life as an audience as you're watching it. It's happening live. So it was more about trying to be in the moment as much as possible, and to really be able to respond and react to whatever was happening as it is happening. And I think to have Alankrita as the showrunner, the director whose idea it was, and then Bornila was there, very sensitive and very clear-minded people who have guided us through this process as well. Because when you're dealing with a character across 6 hours of screen time and writing, it's sometimes it's different from playing a character in a film where you have everything in your head like that. But sometimes, for me, it was very important to remember what all the characters coming from, what all has just happened in their lives, because sometimes you're playing a scene in an office, but there's a personal incident that has also happened, and that has to be in the back of your mind, even if it's not reflected in the dialogues that you speak. So those things were the different aspect of homework that one had to do in terms of keeping that in mind. But by and large, I think it's just so beautifully written in terms of it being instinctively real, that if one could just allow oneself to be in the moment, it allowed us to get into character. So I think that was
Also it's very different from A Suitable Boy, where like
yeah.
your character was more flamboyant and very open. But this
Yes.
time there is this simmering anger inside you.
Yes.
Like you don't speak much, you are in the corporate race, of course, but there is some part of you which doesn't agree with what you are doing.
Very well put. Some part of Fatima that doesn't agree with what she's doing herself. And that really is, I'm glad that that's what comes across, because that's what we've been talking about, that so much of, especially Fatima's character, is about her internal struggle. It's about her, the world around her reflecting as a mirror her issues with herself, with her ideas of herself, or ideas of the way she should be or shouldn't be. So I'm glad that that's what comes across, and that's really to do with the way it's written, the way we've all managed to be able to put it across. But I'm glad that comes across.
Yeah, that's true actually, because she punishes herself a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Right. And for that matter, like most of these characters, most of the lead characters, all of you are in some kind of conflict with what is happening around them and what they want to happen.
Absolutely. A lot of conflict. I mean, the inner dialogue is very different from what is being portrayed, especially in the world that we're inhabiting, which is why I think that Lily's character is so liberating, because she's the only one who's able to actually air her feelings in that sense. I mean, we come from a world where you're supposed to kind of, brush it under the carpet, don the mask, not let it out, exude a certain degree of power, especially the world that they choose to kind of inhabit and rule, where you're competing with men who are waiting to find that chink in your armor. And there's a lot of pressure that they all put on themselves, where they're tougher with each other and themselves than they actually should be in many ways.
And also, like when you are talking about Amrita's character, she is like one unapologetic person who knows what she wants from life.
Right.
Yes, but that's why. But you put it in again in very apt words, as Shahana said about her character. But Amrita, like I myself belong to, I think, their world, as in like, putting on masks and hiding things and hiding emotions. So for me, this was completely a different space. When I auditioned for Lily, then only I did only one scene, but I realized in that one scene how powerful the character was written, in which she's, yes, on face she's bar dancer, and then she's very, in a way, loud. But the scene I did is with Ayesha, and she understands something in Ayesha which Ayesha herself cannot face. And then she gives her courage to face that without judging her. And she says, kisi se bhi pyar kar le, kisi se bhi. So that was the scene I did for my audition. And when I read that scene, I was almost in awe with Alankrita's writing, that in one scene, how many shades of that character were coming that she's a bar dancer, but she understands what's going on inside her, and she giving her courage to face that. So it was really challenging, but as Shahana said, writing was so strong. Now I should say content was the queen of our show. Content was the biggest. Yeah, content
of
is
the
the
show.
queen. Yeah, content is the queen of this show. The main begum is content, and that's why we all are being those proud begums because of that. That's what I thought. And of course Alankrita, and of course she made me meet a real life begum, a real life Lily. Her name is Reshma Appa. So I'm grateful to Reshma Appa. I visited her in Kamathipura, and then she was generous, kind enough. I mean, I'm grateful to her that she opened herself to me, and she gave her love and her life. She shared her life with me, and that gave me a lot of strength to in Lily. And the most difficult part for me was dancing, which all the begums helped me.
And how sexy is she while dancing? I mean,
I was there. She danced for me.
Yeah,
and
I danced for you.
I told her, what were you so nervous about all these days? She was
It's because you gave me
awesome.
that confidence.
Remember once I was shooting and suddenly I looked into my closet and there was Lily in front of my mirror doing this dance. And I'm like, what's going on here? But I must say that I just, not that I never knew this, but I think I've being able to articulate it properly for the first time. I think that what is your genius as an actor and why you're able to kind of transform yourself in the manner that you do film after film after film is because you are one of the most non-judgmental women I have met in my life. And you listen to all of our life experiences. You will listen to a Reshma Appa's life experience with no iota of judgment. And you will not just shamelessly take it because that I don't agree with it, but I'll steal this because I need to portray it. You genuinely do not judge. And I think that it's the failing of the world if they've only kind of written you off as a great artist who can't be a Lily. Because you've kind of done that with such elan and such grace, but yet so much of vulnerability. Because even for Lily, her strength and her bravado is actually, that's her armor.
that is her defense mechanism. And the other thing I wanted to say, we had that moment. We're stealing each other's ideas and thoughts, which is great. But that's how connected we are. I wanted to say this also earlier, that Amruta is a great medium. It's being a clean. You know how you have mediums who channel spirits? She can channel any character because she's clear. It's like a clean being. And the thing is, she articulated it correctly. There's no judgment. You absorb the being with complete empathy, and then you're able to express it from a heart space. So that's why she's done. Because even for me, I've worked with her 15 years ago in Firak, and we played totally different characters and totally different, and we were connected to
I
each other
missed
since
working with
then.
you right now.
Yeah.
This.
And over here for me, I had very little scenes with Lily. So when I saw the bits where she's there in her element, I was just blown away with how pure it is. Because you know, the eyes have it, your eyes can't lie. You can tell when someone's acting in their eyes. And there, you know, you were talking about not having inhibition. You don't see an iota of inhibition in you. Like Amruta is not there.
I think I'm the only one who's not surprised with her performance when I watched it, because I did so many scenes with her.
Yeah, we were
And
together,
on
yeah.
set, I used to come back and like speak to my friends, my family, and I would be like, dude, this Amruta, I don't know how she does it. But and I had so much fun shooting with her, so much fun. Because
See,
I
all of
would
them
imagine
are
a
so
scene,
lovely.
I would read a scene in a certain way, and what she would do, I would be like, how did you do that? It was so much fun. I love doing that scene when I go to your house and then, you know, I kind of question you that what happened, why are you doing this? And that scene, how you explain what your life is like, what Lily's life is like, it was so nice. I actually enjoyed doing my scenes with her.
Guys, I have played Lily, but I am becoming shy now.
But Lily is shy inherently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting that the conversation has reversed. Now I'm liking it so much that you guys are talking about.
I'm so sorry. We have a tendency to kind of do this when we're all together.
No, this is great fun. So so that brings me to Adya. Your character, I don't know, maybe much more mature than what a girl of that age in real life normally is. So, but
Like
you had
Adya.
to approach it with, like like Adya. So, like I don't know what was happening, what was going through your mind at that time.
Okay, so Shy is a complex character to figure out. So I had to unbox her. I had to figure out what she wants in life, how what a girl she is, because she's in that stage of her life where she's figuring out what to do. And she's in that path where she's trying to also figure out the bond with her stepmom Rani. And in that path, obviously, she makes some bad decisions. And yeah, I guess that is how every teenager's life is, because at one point or the other, they will make some bad decisions. It's not necessary, but there will be some point where they'll be like, I shouldn't have done this. But Shy shows them that this happens with every single person and there's nothing to be afraid of. And you can just, move on with it, but learn something from it. So, personally, it was hard for me to get into this character, but thanks to Alankrita ma'am, obviously, I was able to get into that character and I did my best.
But it has to be said that of course, right now she looks like this young lady. But when we shot for it, she was 12. And when you auditioned for it, you said you were 11.
Yeah, when I auditioned, I was 11. When we shot for this, I was 12. Now I'm 13.
And it's not easy. It's not easy to find somebody of that age group to play this kind of a character, like you said. And Shy is not necessarily like Adya in that sense, besides the maturity part. So it really hats off to her emotional maturity. I think she has an emotional intelligence which is very very deep and very high for a person for a person her age. But I think just as a soul, she's a emotionally mature being. So
And also to not get phased by the process. Absolutely. At the age of 12, to be able to be thrown into the deep end and to be able to kind of come from Singapore. It's not like you've been born on a set in that sense. I mean, you've done your stint of modeling and stuff, but that's not the same thing. And just to be thrown into the deep end, play a character so complex, deal with emotions that are pretty grown up in that sense. See people just having complete breakdowns around you. I mean, the most bizarre situation in that sense. And I think that she came out with flying colors. It was a strenuous schedule physically, mentally and emotionally. So I think what a debut.
Thank
And I
you.
feel
Thank
very
you so
protective
much.
about her. I mean, I think perhaps more than her biological mother does. So I'm like, oh my God, Shai's grown so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Very
you so
rightly
much.
put. You both, Pooja and Chana, you have described the question for our viewers. I couldn't put it so well. So, and now, Plavita, this is your second work with Alankrita, right?
Yes, yes.
So, do you think that there was any difference between the film and this one series?
Um, when obviously on set, when we were shooting for Lipstick, it was not very easy for her because there was a lot to do and less days of shoot, and she was always she was pretty stressed on set. But during Begums, I mean, I'm talking in terms of how she was on set. I felt she was more in control, and but one thing is, in during Lipstick and during Begums, she knows what she wants. She knows what she wants from you. She will get it from you. And on set, I'm very scared of her. I've always been. I love her, and she treats me like her child. But yeah, so I was really happy that as I also have grown in the last, we had shot for Lipstick almost 5 years ago now. So I have also grown as a person, as an actor, and I've seen her also grow as a director in terms of her commanding the set and everything else. So I really enjoyed shooting with her. Yeah, again, and yeah, I hope to shoot more and more with her because it's quite fun with her, honestly. Yeah.
And so, Pooja, you have been a director. You have directed films, and so because earlier you were just an actor, you weren't a director. Now you are a director who is also acting. So at some point of time, did you feel that this certain scene should be done in a different way, or like, what was your feeling?
I went from being an actor to becoming a producer at 25. And then I directed my first film when I was 30. So I went step 1, step 2, step 3. And for me, the dream was never to direct. because it was, I mean, I loved production. When I got thrown into that end, I loved making a movie come together because I believed that I had a conviction that could be marketed and could convert to be able to somebody having, to invest in something. But when I said yes to Bombay Begums, and you need to be wise enough to know why somebody is hiring you. And then once you've said yes to somebody, you need to be able to trust them. And I think it would be very foolish on my part to be able to go in there and expect things to be done in a certain way that I was used to it being done. You need to constantly rewrite your references because that's the only way you're going to grow. And I told Alankrita that, you know what, thank you for this opportunity. And when I signed on the dotted line, I said, I surrender to you completely. And I'm going to be an open book. I'm going to be this chunk of clay. And I'm hoping that you're going to be able to mold me the way you want to, because you know why you want me. And, why do you want me to play Rani? And I just surrendered. And I think that in life, it's so much easier just to give in, to just surrender. And well, don't tell every man in my life this, but I just love being told what to do. It was not it was being on set was, even though at that time it was a trying time for me because I went through some health hazard, but it was wonderful to be on set and worry about my lines and my makeup and my dialogues and what are we doing next in terms of whatever. It was good. And I thank her, like I did on the last day, for reminding me where I belong, where I always belonged. And I think that sometimes you need to go far from the track to come back, So I think that space in front of the camera is one that I'm comfortable with. And the passage of time makes you kind of look at the world differently. So I think I'm far more patient with the whole process of making a film or making a show, because I understand how many people strive behind a camera to be able to make an actor shine. Not that an actor's job is easy, because you got to kind of constantly pull from inside yourself over and over again something that might not come back in the next take. And you have to do it again because there's been some technical glitch. But that's part and parcel of it. So I think all in all, I just turned 49 two days ago. And I think this is the best, Bombay Begums is the best gift I could get from the universe, to be able to make my, year before my half century really sing in that sense. Yeah. So I'm just
So
full
let
of
me tell you
gratitude.
that the result, the end product is really, really good, and a lot of accolade and acclaim is coming your way. And I have used up most of my time, but before we finish, I want all of you to explain in one line about your character, about your show, starting with Pooja. You.
Well, I think that if I have to describe Bombay Begums, I would think that I would speak for all of us. I think that it's courage in diversity. I think that it's strength and it's from fire in that sense. And I think Rani is somebody who realizes, like all of us women should, that eventually it is when we put our frailties out into the world, when we let our defenses down and we expose our brokenness to people who matter, that really that becomes our strength. And my character with Shai, for example, I'm able to finally build that bridge with my stepdaughter by actually putting all my brokenness and my frailties on the table, not by covering them up. So I think for me, that's always kind of taken me through life. And that's what finally gets Rani to make her ultimate breakthrough with Shai, is just by letting the defenses down and showing her scars and showing her weaknesses and just bleeding openly.
I think
So,
it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be what I was saying. I said this earlier also. I think it's a slice of life, and we always use slice of life to talk about more upbeat things. But I think this is the slice of life because it's showing all facets and aspects of life. In this case, in the journey of 5 women, along with the other men in their lives as well. So I think it's a slice of life of all the characters, so to speak. And life as it actually plays out, not in some rose-tinted way, not in some over-dramatic way, but in a very realistic ebb and flow of life kind of way. And in terms of Fatima, I think I'll use the title of another film that I actually did called Under Construction. I think it's kind of like she's just gone through the demolition and is now beginning to, so it's like undoing and then reconstructing and in the process of still constructing herself, finding
Right,
herself.
right. But yeah,
I would say that I would call this a coming of age drama, and also I think it's a show that will make us question that are the choices we really make for ourselves coming from our heart, or is it coming from the environment we are in, or the world we live in, or based on choices of people around us, or what they expect or want from us. And also that this show, I think, will also it also makes me feel that it's about like you said, courage, about how courageous these women are, and how they're all survivors, and how it is okay to be flawed, it is okay to be vulnerable, and all we have to do is survive. And for my character, I would say Aisha is she's a survivor. She doesn't know it. She's a survivor. She is ambitious, and she is also. I thought of
Confused.
something. Yeah, confused. Thank you. that I am right now, because I just thought of something which Aisha is and I can't remember. But anyway, she is ambitious, and she's innocent. Aisha is innocent. She is a survivor. She's confused, yeah. And I feel Aisha is innocent. She comes from a small town. She wants to make something of her life. She wants to be self-dependent, like all of us do.
She's also an eternal optimist and dreamer in a beautiful way, which we lack today. That kind of confidence that Aisha has, I think, is not a overconfidence. It's like it's a beautiful,
confidence
innocent
to-
confidence of a
to that. It's
dreamer,
the
of somebody
confidence
who
to
is just
commit.
dreaming about being able to do better for themselves. That's what's really wonderful about her.
And because why not? Why not? Yeah.
So Adya and
Yeah, so Bombay Begums is a show where it shows women wrestling with desire, ethics, personal crisis, and vulnerabilities in urban India. And this also shows the reality. It's not everything is rosy on the outside as it seems. It also shows the struggles that these women go through, and how they go through that, and how they can overcome these obstacles, because obviously they have ambition and they want to go through that, and with the help of one another from one part or the other, they get it. And that's what the whole story is about. You should always believe in yourself, and there might things that come in your way, but if you're hell bent on it, there's nothing that can stop you.
you
Yeah.
are poetic in real life also.
Have you noticed how we all look at her when she speaks? I mean, if only one had like quarter of this
Wow.
confidence at the age of 13, we would have conquered the
Amazing.
world.
I swear. So I would really, I'm mesmerized.
You know, like,
Amrita, you're
Yeah, so
final.
about the show, I think, I was just thinking, I think Alankrita also is, when I look at her, her eyes are, she's a beautiful dreamer. And, every character, even Dolly, Kitty and Chamakte Satar mein there is, most of her characters dream. So this show is also, I think, all of us beautiful women are struggling with our lives, but we are dreamers, all of us. And we have strength to dream, come what may. हम कीचड़ में भी है लेकिन ड्रीम कर रहे हैं.
yeah, absolutely. And I think to sum it
It's
up, I would
the
say,
best
and we
thing.
fix each other's crowns, because
Yes.
real queens fix each other's crowns, don't knock
Yeah.
each other's crowns off.
So about the show, yes, that dreaming quality is the thing which I fall in love with Alankrita again and again with her every project and with her every character. I would say that this strength of dreaming in whatever situation you are, and when life is, sometimes you feel that now there is a dead end, now what to do, and still you dream, and still you think, no, I want to dream. And then about Lily, she is also a dreamer, and all of us, I think, in the show are, we have talked about this, that we have this ambition of being ourselves, showing the strength of being ourselves. So that is also there, that all of us are struggling to be ourselves, trying to be ourselves. And Lily was also trying to do that. And I had done another role in another play which had a song which is in Marathi but which explains Lily. Mala phorishtacha shapa madalya बाई गथुयाच काचाच्या माग उभं राहून शनी फुलं कायची हे. So she's saying, I want to. So she's saying that I want a better life. You know, she's a woman from the streets. Of course, she's Eliza Doolittle. This play is Eliza Doolittle. So she's saying that I want to have a better life. I want to have my own shop. Where she's Lily saying, I want to have a factory. She's continuously telling her, I don't want that. Yeah. I want to have a factory with big machines. I'm the owner of my factory. My son is the boss of this factory, you know, and I will be in the company. Like, she doesn't say all this, but this is her dream. So being in the Kichad she is, dreaming like that, requires strength, which Alankrita has given to that character. So that's Lily, I think.
So such a lovely camaraderie among all of you guys. And on that note, I have used up most of my time. And thank you for talking to me, and all the best for your show.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.